Hello everybody, TK Guillotine here, and welcome to my review of Lycoris Recoil. Lycoris Recoil is a 2022 anime made by A1 Pictures. A1 Pictures has made some serious bangers, including Kaguya-sama Love is War, The Seven Deadly Sins, and now you can add Lycoris Recoil to that already impressive resume because this was an absolute banger. Lycoris Recoil is a fucking fantastic anime, and if you have not watched it, you absolutely should put this one on your list and put it high up there because it's a very short series, 13 episodes, in and out, super good, has an amazing ending as well. We might get a season 2, there's been rumblings of a season 2, but this show is, I believe, an anime original. I don't know 100% that's the case, but I'm pretty confident that this is an anime original. I believe I heard that from multiple people now. So, we might get a season 2, but even if we don't, this was a phenomenal freaking show and easily one of my favorite animes of 2022. Lycoris Recoil is about this. So there is this small kind of organization, and there are these, there's basically, you have this like organization of people, and they take these girls. It's kind of like if you've ever seen Black Widow, you know, the MCU movies. It's kind of similar to that, where you have these girls. They're called Lycorises, and they're basically like not exactly hitmen, but they're like kind of like police or whatnot. It's a little bit complicated, but basically you have that, and this show is about like this very top-notch, like quite possibly the best one of them all, the best Lycoris of them all, Chisato Nishikigi, who is this insanely good Lycoris, and basically she is the main character of this show, and Chisato is easily one of the best freaking girls of 2022, like top 5 2022 girls. She is amazing. This character is just so much fun to watch. She is so fun and entertaining, and she's funny, she's entertaining, she's all bubbly all the time. She's just an extremely entertaining character. And not only that, but she is an absolutely awesome character to watch because one of the best things about this show has quite possibly like the best choreography in terms of like gunplay in an anime I've ever seen. Like, you don't really see a lot of anime go for the whole gun thing. It's usually like swords or, you know, just powers that you just have. It's not usually guns. They don't usually go for that. This show literally takes like John Wick style like action with guns, you know, like flipping the magazine out and doing shit like this, takes that and puts it into anime. And oh my god, they do such a phenomenal job. The choreography is so freaking amazing, and Chisato is so fun. It's so freaking fun to watch Chisato just jump around cars and pop people off and take out people. And the coolest thing is Chisato is 100% against killing people. So while all the Lycoris use regular guns, they use guns with live ammunition, Chisato refuses to kill people, so she loads her guns with these bullets that are like, I think, rubber bullets, and they explode with like red smoke. So they don't kill you, they just hurt you, and usually they knock you out. So she refuses to kill people, so the whole time you're watching her going through and like shooting everybody up, she's like constantly like she like shoots them, they're about to like fall, so she grabs them before they like fall down the stairs and like sits them down gently. Like, it's awesome. And then you have other characters that just come in and just fucking pop them in the head and they're done with. But Chisato absolutely refuses to kill people. It's a really cool aspect of the character, and this character is just fucking awesome. I absolutely love Chisato. She is probably my favorite character of the show. There is one character that is just barely almost about to it, and I really hate to do this because I know people are gonna get mad at me for this take, but that character is not Takina. I will say before I say this that Takina's not a bad character by any means. But for me, Takina is what I like to call an Armin, because Armin from Attack on Titan was a character that, for me, was just the absolute essence of absolutely nothing. He was a character that was there and did almost nothing. I know people are gonna be like, oh, he came up with the plan to plug the hole in the fucking wall, and I'm like, dude, anybody with 2 brain cells could have came up with that plan. Like, Armin did almost nothing for like the entire runtime of Attack on Titan up until season 3. You know, I don't want to spoil anything for people who haven't watched the absolutely god tier Attack on Titan season 3 part 2, but that is like the one time where Armin ever did something actually like useful. And for me, Takina was a very similar case. She just didn't do much, and she just never really felt like she was necessary to be in the show. And every single, well, no, she was necessary because she is kind of the duality of them, but it's constantly brought up in the show. This show is supposed to be like a duo show with Chisato and Takina. But for me, Takina is just so below Chisato because Chisato is this super, super fun character to watch. And you're just loving her so much. You're just obsessed with this character from the second she shows up on screen. Like literally, Chisato, every second she's on screen, your eyes are glued to her. You're like, I love this fucking character. This character is just making this show for me. But Takina doesn't really have any of that. She's very stone cold. She actually is, she's a Lycoris, and she kind of has a bit of a story with her. I don't really want to spoil the story for anybody who hasn't watched the show yet, but she has a bit of a story with her. Like there's reasons why she is stuck with Chisato and why she is with her in the Lyco Rico cafe, which is kind of their little, they run a little cafe, Chisato and Takina, and there's reasons why she's there and she's not a full-time Lycoris. Like there's reasons for that, but the character is just not that fun to watch in my opinion. Like she's kind of cute. There's some cute scenes, including like a absolutely hilarious episode where Chisato finds out that she wears men's underwear, which led to some humongous laughs. Probably the most I laughed this year, including at Spy Family, man. That was such a funny fucking episode. And it's really, really funny, but it's funny because of Chisato. Like Takina is a character that if you took Chisato away, Takina is like nothing. She's not like remotely enjoyable. Like she's not an entertaining character to watch. Like she's not a bad character by any means, and she certainly has her moments, especially towards the end. She has some really great moments towards the end. But for me, she doesn't hold a candle to Chisato, and there's quite a few other characters in the show that I enjoyed significantly more than Takina. So I'm sorry. I know Takina has her fans. I'm not trying to piss those fans off. This is just my opinion. This is just my review of the show, and I'm not a fan of Takina. I'm sorry. I am 100% going to be picking up the Figma Chisato, but I don't think I really care about the Takina. I'm sorry. Maybe that'll change in season 2, but for me, throughout the entirety of season 1, Takina is just not that interesting of a character to me, and I don't really care about her, honestly. I really love Chisato, though. And then the other characters in the show, a couple other characters I absolutely loved in the show were Kurumi, who is this little hacker girl, and she is just the absolute best thing ever. She is the character that is competing with Chisato for my favorite character of the show. She is just fucking adorable and amazing, and I love her to death. Oh my god, I love her so much. I know that we got a Nendoroid of Chisato and Takina. I was planning on getting the Chisato, but then they announced the Figma, so I was like, okay, no need for that. I'll get the Figma. But Nendoroid Kurumi, that would be a buy from me. Good smell. So make it happen. You will get my money for sure. But yeah, so Kurumi, another character I just absolutely love. She is a character that just steals the show when she shows up on screen. And then you also have a couple of characters. You have Mika, who is a pretty cool character. Mika, while a pretty cool character, I think he only really has, once again, just like Takina, he has his moments, and I really, really love, like, towards the end, he has some really amazing moments, but overall, he's not. I would actually say Mika and Takina are about the same tier characters, yeah, they're about the same tier characters for me. They have their moments, they're enjoyable to watch, but they don't really hold a candle to Chisato and Kurumi as well, but mainly just Chisato, because Chisato is really running the fucking show. Like, this is her show, and you're watching it because of her. A couple more things I want to talk about with the show. I want to talk about the opening a little bit, Alive by Clara S. I have to say, the first couple times I heard the opening, I wasn't the biggest fan of it. I thought it sounded kind of generic, and I just thought nothing of it. But after I listened to it a few more times, I listened to the full version a few times, and I watched the live performances that Clara S did of the song. I actually really like the opening. It's not generic. It's actually pretty darn good. I enjoy it quite a bit. So yeah, that's one thing I wanted to say. And then what else did I want to say? I'm pretty sure I got everything. The action. Oh, definitely I have to talk about Majima. Oh, I almost forgot to talk about Majima. Holy shit. Okay, Majima is probably my third favorite character of the show. Majima is the villain of this show, and he is fucking awesome. This is legit one of the best villains in, this is legit one of the best anime villains of 2022. Seriously. This dude was so freaking insane. He was, I don't want to say, he was pretty scary. Like, there were some pretty intense moments with this dude, but he was a cool fucking character. Cause like, he shows up, and you don't really think much of him. He shows up, and you just think, oh, this guy, he's a terrorist, he's the bad guy, he's the villain of the show. But then this character gets super, super complicated, and he has some really amazing moments, including one where he actually manages to outsmart Chisato, because I don't know if this is a spoiler. Okay, you know what? I'm going to talk about this. So this is a kind of a light spoiler, I suppose, but it's not really a spoiler. It's a big thing with Chisato. So I'll give you a quick spoiler warning right here, so you can skip ahead a little bit or mute the video. But I'm going to talk about something with Chisato. So you've been warned now. Okay, so the thing with Chisato is she has been trained so hard. She is an insanely good Lycoris. That's why she's like the top level Lycoris. That Chisato can literally predict when her opponent, she literally like looks at like the movement of their clothes or the movement of their clothes and their muscles and whatnot, and she can predict when they're gonna shoot. So she's literally like unshootable. She cannot be hit. It's a really awesome part of the character. Like she literally can like, the way they say it in the show is that she like looks at like the wrinkles forming on their shirt and she uses it to predict that they're about to shoot. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. And this character Majima, who is like the one person in the show that ever manages to ever even come close to actually being able to do something about Chisato. Like every other person in the show who's caused any threat whatsoever hasn't been able to do jack shit against Chisato. Then Majima comes in and you're like, uh-oh, this dude is actually trying. This dude is for real. And if we get a season 2, I cannot wait to see what Majima does. But honestly, dude, Figma Majima, I would absolutely buy that, dude. Holy shit. I would love to get some villains in my collection, man. That'd be so, so awesome. We got Gato coming out from SH Figure Arts. I would love to add some more villains. Ooh, and Katana Man. I just saw that one as well. Yes. Okay, guys. I think I've pretty much said everything. I didn't want to spoil anything about Lycoris Recoil because this is a banger-ass anime, and if you haven't watched it, you absolutely should watch it. I thoroughly freaking enjoyed this show. Yeah, really, really amazing, man. Chisato was one of the best characters of the year, in my opinion. I loved her, and I love Lycoris Recoil. I want to say one more thing. I'm just going to say this real quick. Just going to throw this in there. The ending of this show is fucking awesome. The third act, the final, like, whatever of this show, the last, like, 3 episodes are just so fucking awesome. Like, shit goes down, and it is epic. I just wanted to throw that in there real quick because, yeah, like, you might start watching the show, you might be like, okay, yeah, this action's really cool, I really like Chisato, but aside from that, this show doesn't have that much going for it. Then you'll get to the fucking end, and you'll see how this show wraps up, and you'll be like, that was fucking awesome, instant classic. So yeah, I'm just gonna throw that in there as well. So there you have it. My final grade for Lycoris Recoil, I was debating on A+ or S. I think I'm gonna go with A+ personally. I think that it had enough things holding it back. But another thing I want to say real quick, I realize I'm kind of messing with myself. I wanted to say this when I reviewed the show. The story of the show is kind of confusing to me. It's straightforward, but it's confusing as well. I don't know, I'm kind of not making any sense here. For me, the story was just a little bit confusing. There's a lot of variables about it, and it's just, yeah, it's just a little confusing. I just wanted to throw that in there real quick. So that's one thing about it. And then also, I really don't think Takina is a really amazing character, especially in comparison to Chisato. So those are the only things I'm gonna say when it comes to like the negativity of the show. But for the most part, show absolutely rules. Absolutely watch it. I think I'm gonna go with an A+. I think it's an A+ show. I think it's a really, really, really great anime, and you should definitely check it out if you haven't. Yeah, there you have it. That is all my thoughts on Lycoris Recoil. Definitely check this one out, y'all. It is well worth watching. Like I said, super quick, 13 episodes in and out. You watch the whole thing in one day, and honestly, like I watched it weekly, and then I waited for the last couple episodes to come out, and then I binged the rest of them. I really wish I had just watched them all in one day, because if you start this show, you're not gonna be able to stop, so you're just gonna bust through the whole show in one day. Really, really awesome. So yeah, A+ for Lycoris Recoil. Thank you all so much for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, maybe give me a like, subscribe for some more anime content in the future. And if you love Lycoris Recoil, your boy is absolutely gonna be picking up the Figma Chisato when it comes out. So if that is any indication of subscribing, if you want to see that, although you know it's gonna be like another year and a half before I get that, but you know probably way more than that actually. Like we're still waiting on that Figma Thorfinn that they announced like 2 years ago, so heaven knows when the hell we're gonna get it. But I did just want to throw that in there in case you were yeah whatever. So there you go. Thank you all so much for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it, and this is DA Guillotine signing out.